The man who is swimming against the stream knows the strength of it. You are here to enrich the world, and you impoverish yourself if you forget the errand. If you want to make enemies, try to change something. The ear of the leader must ring with the voices of the people. America is not anything if it consists of each of us. It is something only if it consists of all of us. The history of liberty is a history of resistance. The history of liberty is a history of the limitation of governmental power, not the increase of it. I not only use all the brains I have but all I can borrow. The seed of revolution is repression. There is no higher religion than human service. To work for the common good is the greatest creed. The world must be made safe for democracy. The whole purpose of democracy is that we may hold counsel with one another, so as not to depend upon the understanding of one man but to depend upon the counsel of all. The flag is the embodiment, not of sentiment, but of history. If a dog will not come to you after having looked you in the face, you should go home and examine your conscience. Loyalty means nothing unless it has at its heart the absolute principle of self-sacrifice. The difference between a strong man and a weak one is that the former does not give up after a defeat. I would rather belong to a poor nation that was free than to a rich nation that had ceased to be in love with liberty. The only thing that saves us from the bureaucracy is its inefficiency. A conservative is someone who makes no changes and consults his grandmother when in doubt. Power consists in one's capacity to link his will with the purpose of others, to lead by reason and a gift of cooperation. We should not only use all the brains we have but all that we can borrow. If you think too much about being re-elected, it is very difficult to be worth re-electing. I would rather fail in a cause that will ultimately triumph than to triumph in a cause that will ultimately fail. The firm basis of government is justice, not pity. Government ought to be all outside and no inside. The government, which was designed for the people, has got into the hands of the bosses and their employers, the special interests. An invisible empire has been set up above the forms of democracy. America was established not to create wealth but to realize a vision, to realize an ideal, to discover and maintain liberty among men. Liberty has never come from the government. Liberty has always come from the subjects of the government. The history of liberty is the history of resistance. The object of love is to serve, not to win. Business underlies everything in our national life, including our spiritual life. Wise laws and just administration should be secured, not for the rich nor for the poor, not for the set classes, but for the whole people. We are constantly thinking of the great war that was fought to make this nation, but sometimes we forget that there was another war, hardly less great, to preserve it. That war is still going on. You cannot be friends upon any other terms than upon the terms of equality. There is such a thing as a man being too proud to fight. When I think of the flag, I see not the flag, but the nation itself. A nation which does not remember what it was yesterday does not know what it is today, nor what it is trying to do. It is impossible to compromise with tyranny. There is no cause half so sacred as the cause of a people. There is no idea so uplifting as the idea of the service of humanity. I can predict with absolute certainty that within another generation there will be another world war if the nations of the world do not concert the method by which to prevent it. The right is more precious than peace. If there are men in this country big enough to own the government, they are going to own it. If you do not like what is going on in the United States, get out of it. A man's rootage is more important than his leafage. The men who make history have not time to write it. No man has ever risen to the dignity of true manhood until he has found that it is better to serve somebody else than to serve himself. No country can afford to have its prosperity originated by a small controlling class. The success of a party means little except when it represents an idea, and an idea must be judged by the test of time. America is the only idealistic nation in the world. The method of political science is the interpretation of life, its instrument is insight, a nice understanding of subtle, unformulated conditions. A radical is one who goes too far, and a conservative is one who does not go far enough. The best thing about the future is that it comes only one day at a time. The most valuable thing that you can do with a fair thing is to give it away. There is nothing that succeeds in life like boldness, provided you believe you are right. No man can sit down and withhold his hands from the warfare against wrong and get peace from his acquiescence. There is no such thing as a man being too proud to fight for what he knows to be right. You cannot dedicate yourself to America unless you are dedicated to the cause of humanity. The world is not looking for a great nation, it is looking for a great ideal. The world has a habit of going on. No man is great who thinks himself so. Only he is great who, as the years go by, grows greater in his own estimation. The government should not be made an engine of oppression. The nation is worth fighting for to secure such an inestimable jewel. The highest and best form of efficiency is the spontaneous cooperation of a free people. The man who is swimming against the current knows the strength of it. If you lose your wealth, you have lost nothing. If you lose your health, you have lost something. But if you lose your character, you have lost everything. The world stands aside to let any man pass who knows where he is going. Leadership does not always wear the harness of compromise. The wisdom of the present is based upon the experiences of the past. There can be no equality or opportunity if men and women and children be not shielded in their lives from the consequences of great industrial and social processes which they cannot alter, control, or singly cope with. I am not sure that it is true that people are better informed now than they ever were before. The great monopoly in this country is the monopoly of conscience. There is nothing that can withstand the power of an idea when it comes to that man who has thought it through. The truth is we are all caught in a great economic system which is heartless. If you want to understand the true meaning of liberty, go and ask an American citizen. America lives in the heart of every man who aspires to a condition of freedom and justice. There is a spirit that sways the world, and it is neither that of Russia nor of Germany, nor that of England nor of France, nor that of Austria nor of Italy, but the spirit of liberty. We are not here merely to make a living, we are here to enrich the world. The only thing that is worthwhile is to live long enough to see the triumph of a great cause. The laws of change are laws which must be obeyed by states as well as by individuals. I have always said that there was only one way by which you can cause men to be good citizens, and that is to make them feel that they are partners in their government. A great nation is a nation that does great things. If I am to speak 10 minutes, I need a week for preparation. If an hour, I am ready now. We are not put into this world to sit still. And no, we are put into it to act. America was born to exemplify that devotion to the elements of righteousness which are derived from the revelations of Holy Scripture. It is like writing history with lightning. That is all right if it is true history. We grow great by dreams. All big men are dreamers. There is no cause for anything but gratitude and joy in the thought that we are privileged to serve mankind. The world does not stop because some of us are discouraged. We must resist the forces of economic tyranny. The business of every generation is to find a better way. There can be no liberty if it is not equal liberty. The power to determine how I shall live my own life is the essence of freedom. The foundation of our national policy will be laid in the pure and immutable principles of private morality. America has never come to anything she has tried. We should not only master our own fates, but we should help master the fates of the world. There is such a thing as a man being too proud to fight for himself, but there is no such thing as a nation being too proud to defend itself.